I rise for a point of personal privilege.
The senator has the floor.
Well, I rise to speak about an event that happened last week, but not about the event, but about the person who we lost. Sincere, born Allah, passed away last week. And he was somebody that, made a big impact on my life. You know, we do a lot with public policy. We meet people, we get involved with them, they advocate for issues, and sometimes they get into our hearts and souls. And that's what happened for me, getting to know Sincere over the past, 6 years, more or less. I carried the earned sentence credit bill back in 2020 when we were in special session over in the Science Building, you all might remember. And through that, I got to know a lot of loved ones of people who were incarcerated. I got to understand their stories. I got to understand the challenges that they faced. And Sincere was one that really stood out for me. I went to visit him when he was still behind bars, and we did a round table of other people who were incarcerated. And I got the opportunity to listen and to learn. And then when Governor Northam brought him home through a pardon, he became a member of my family. He called me Mom and visited my home, and my family welcomed him with open arms. He was somebody who was really important to us. But I wanted to tell you a little bit about him as a person, because he has a really interesting background and story. He was born in Roxbury, Massachusetts, and was the grandson of the longest-serving woman delegate in the General Assembly in Massachusetts. She was the first African-American woman and served for 30 years. So Sincere, as a kid, grew up in the halls of the Capitol, and he understood activism and public policy. He understood campaigns, and he worked side by side with his grandmother and was so proud of the work that she did around social justice and affordable housing and a lot of the things that we on this side of the aisle focus our time on. And when he came home, he jumped right back into that, and he got a job with the Reform Alliance and is no stranger to our halls, he said. And I remember when he and Angel came home on the same day, and Angel's up there, where he, we introduced them and we welcomed them with open arms, because we know that everybody is better than their worst day. And through the past 4 years, he came and testified on our legislation. He made sure that he was well educated about the issues, and he fought for social justice and prison reform and criminal justice reform. And I think he made an enormous difference. There are a lot of people in this building who counted him as a friend and someone that they loved. And this has been an incredibly painful time for many of us. Those who are sitting up there, I know his father is watching from Georgia, Darrell Fox. I know that Gloria Fox, former representative in Massachusetts, would be so proud to have seen all that he did. And I think it's important that each of us remember that we are better than our worst day, and that even when we have a smile on our face and we act like everything's okay, some of us carry a big burden on our shoulders. And I think that's something that Sincere did. I think he felt responsible for all of the people who have been formerly incarcerated to make sure that he showed the best face and gave everybody a reason to believe that reform is possible. And, I'll never forget taking him shopping the day that he got home and getting him to try on a pair of shoes And because I am a mom and have done this so many times with my own children who I've given birth to, you know, you check their toe and make sure that there's a little bit of wiggle room, and you make them walk back and forth. And that's what I did. And he was just like, oh my God, you're just like, you're my mom. And we maintained that friendship and that closeness. And it's painful that he was suffering and didn't know how to communicate that. And I think then we think about people who were incarcerated when they're teenagers before they have time to fully mature and spend 24 years behind bars.
Senator has the floor.
I'm going to combine my last two into one introduction because they're here for the same purpose. We have Timothy Walker with the Humanization Project, and we have a number of loved ones and friends of my dear friend, Sincere Allah, here in the gallery with us. These individuals who are here have worked on criminal justice reform and prison reform and social justice issues. They are here to recognize the work that Sincere provided to all of us in the friendship. I'll be speaking after session, but I ask that you give them the very warm and gentle welcome of the Senate.
Thank you, Senator. And if our guest will stand, Timothy Walker from the Humanization Project and other representatives from the Humanization Project and the family and friends of Sincere Allah, who we tragically lost a few days ago. We know that this is a difficult time for so many in the communities. Your presence here represents many, many more who are mourning the loss of our dear friend, beloved brother, someone who provided so much and gave so much to many, many in our communities. Our thoughts and prayers are with everyone who is mourning this loss. Senators, I ask that we give the warm welcome of the Senate to all those who loved and cherish the memory of Sincere Allah.